Hey guys, it's your resident Tiger Taco here. I'm making this video for a multitude of reasons. The first is because of I watch YouTube daily, and there's so many amazing YouTubers, which I want to make a video about my favorite YouTubers and why they're my favorite, but that's for another day. The second reason, I'm hoping by doing this, it will help me grow and become a better person and help me cope better with my mental illnesses. The third reason, make sure that's not flopping around in front of the camera. The third reason is because my internet is currently down and my anxiety is going wild right now. So I really need something to occupy my mind, and I've been wanting to do this for a while, so I thought I'd give it a try. And if you're wondering why I keep looking down, it's because of this. When I speak, it's like my anxiety throws a blanket over my mind. I can't think of anything to say, and instead of just sitting here going, I decided to write a script to follow. So that's why I keep looking down, and the light is so bright on my phone that I'm seeing spots, and it's getting hard to read, but I'm gonna power through. I'm gonna do this. Even with the script, it's probably gonna be extremely awkward and probably cringy because I'm not very good with people, period, and speaking. And even as I wrote the script, my anxiety was just going crazy. My heart was racing and everything, and just the thought of it is absolutely terrifying. And I'm sitting here wondering what the fuck I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and because I know I'm gonna get a lot of backlash because of my looks and because of my weight, but that's okay. I have come to terms with who I am. I may be a little bit heavy, but my personality makes up for it, and I see my doctor every 3 months because of my medication, and I'm perfectly healthy, so I have nothing to feel bad about. Moving on. I'm not sure if this would qualify as a series, so I'm just gonna call it a set, or kind of like a journal entry, I guess. Basically, I want to make a set of videos where I get stuff off my chest, where I talk about where I'm at mentally and physically, what's going on in my life, just kind of chronicling what I've been through, what I'm going through, and basically just to have a timeline of my life. Kind of vloggy, kind of not. Just, I want to leave something behind so people know that I was a living person, you know? And it's, like Omar Gosh says, it's for myself, to try and find happiness and find a way to get all of these negative, bad feelings and emotions and thoughts and all this out of my head and off my chest, and just try to be a better person in general and learn how to cope with my illnesses as best as I can. I hope through this set that I can reach out to people who have gone through the same things, who are going through the same things, who basically just want to feel not alone. I know there's thousands and thousands of people out there that suffer from depression and bullying and anxiety disorders and so many other things, and it's terrible. And a lot of these young kids, they don't get it diagnosed, and it just gets worse. I know I personally, it took a while to get it diagnosed. I thought I was just an awkward kid that couldn't make friends, but that's for another day. I'll get into that another day. with that said, I want to begin where my life is right now, what state I'm in right now. But before we begin, I do want to give a warning. This set talks about serious issues like mental illnesses, depression, anxiety disorders, panic attacks, self-harm, bullying, just thoughts of wanting to die, and just thoughts of feeling completely worthless, like you don't deserve to breathe. Just a lot of really heavy topics and subjects. And if you feel like it would trigger you, or you feel like you don't want to get into that, then feel free to exit this video now, because it might get a little deep, and my sensitive ass is already tearing up just thinking about it. I don't think I have any paper. Oh, I have paper towel. Okay, we're good. But yeah, so I'm gonna put the script down now, because as you can see, that's all I've written. I don't have anything else here. Gonna put that down. So, where I am now. I'm 25 years old. I live alone with my mother. It's just me and her and a bunch of animals. Maybe get into that in a different video. I've been suffering from an anxiety disorder ever since I was a young kid, and with the anxiety brought depression along with it, and I suffer feeling depressed a lot because of my anxiety. And I'm a pretty isolated person. I don't leave the house often, and if I do, it's just come outside the house, you know. Maybe go to the store once or twice a month with my mom. Leaving the house is just terrifying for me, because I do have agoraphobia, which, if you don't know, is fear of people. People terrify me, because throughout the years I've seen online and in real life how cruel people can be, and it's not their fault that I became isolated. I did this to myself, I know that. And I can't really use that as an excuse, but I guess it just fueled into my anxiety, and it made me isolate myself more because of the agonizing fear that I live with every day now. I'm pretty much scared of everything, but my biggest fear, obviously, is spiders. Freak the fuck out when I see them. But yeah, I'm a pretty isolated person. I don't leave the house often. There was a point a few weeks ago where I started playing Pokemon Go again, and I have this need to collect things like Yu-Gi-Oh cards, Pokemon cards, stuffed animals, bottle caps, just all these different things I like to collect. It makes me happy. Like, and in video games, like, I was playing GTA 5 religiously, and the main thing that I liked in the game was collecting cars. I wanted to collect all of the cars that I liked anyway. It's really fun for me. So the urge to collect all the Pokemon, and the feeling of actually accomplishing something when you catch a Pokemon or when you hatch a Pokemon, it was awesome. And it did for, I think, a week and a half, 2 weeks. It did get me out of the house every day, which was terrifying because I was going alone, and I was walking in. Sorry for the wind. I am outside. I don't have the best camera. What are you gonna do? But I was absolutely terrified. I was walking in 90-degree weather with like 60% humidity. I was alone. My anxiety was going crazy. I was like constantly looking over my shoulder, like, is this the day I die? Is someone gonna come kill me? Is somebody gonna come try and steal my phone? Am I just gonna collapse because I'm out of shape and it's hot as fuck? And all these different things running through my mind like a mile a minute. I stayed pretty close Right up the road there is 2 gyms, which are both conveniently at churches, and then there's 2 Pokestops, also at another church, and then there's 2 Pokestops down there, one at the park, and then one at another church. Why the fuck are we surrounded by churches? I don't know. I was doing pretty good. I would walk, it was probably like 8 blocks there and back, like 8 blocks each, like 8 blocks to get there, 8 blocks to get back. I was pretty dead by the time I got home, but I was doing well. Then sometimes I would go and sit up at the church. It's quiet, it's peaceful, there's not very many people up there. They have a bench under this big, I don't know if it's an oak tree, but it's a huge tree, and they have this bench and you can just sit there. So far, no one's really said anything. There was one old guy, because he was putting up the pumpkins, because every, around Halloween at that church, they have a pumpkin patch where you can go and buy pumpkins. And they were setting up the grass area in front of the church, and I kept walking back and forth because I was going to the gym to get items, and I was going to the gym to give berries to my Pokemon and to make sure everything was cool. And then I was walking back to the church and sitting, and I would write a little bit while I waited for the Pokestop to reset. And he stopped me, and he stopped me, and as soon as he stopped me, I felt like my heart stopped. I was like, oh my god, am I gonna get arrested? Am I gonna get kicked out? Am I gonna get yelled at? And he wasn't really rude, but he was kind of, he was a bit rough. Not really rough, but kind of like strictish, I guess. Anyway, he wasn't mean, but he called to me and he's like, can I ask why you keep walking back and forth? And I'm like, oh, I'm catching Pokemon. There's this app, you see, I'm catching Pokemon. And I was just, my mind was just blank, and I was freaking out. And he was like, oh, okay. And then he just kind of turned away, and I kept walking, and I was like, oh my god. I literally thought he was going to tell me to get lost. I don't think he was actually a member. Well, he might have been a member of the church, I don't know. But it might have just been someone that they hired to put up the pumpkin patch. And he was probably just making sure that I wasn't, like, up to anything bad, like, trying to, like, mess up what they were doing or anything like that. And I can understand that. I don't really live in the best neighborhood. There's a lot of bad stuff that goes on here. A lot of people could call it, like, ghetto, I guess. But, yeah, so. Okay, so my phone died. I had to go and find an extension cord and get it plugged in. And I'm back. Hopefully it's working okay. Hi. So I left off about the Pokemon Go story. Anyway, about that. I did that for about a week and a half, 2 weeks, something like that. And I was doing it every day, and it was working out pretty well. I was getting lots of Pokemon, and I was getting exercise, and I don't really know if it helped my confidence or not. It might have a little bit. See, I'm feeling a little unsure because the light's not on, so I'm not sure if it's working. I'm sorry. But yeah, then Mother Nature hit me, if you know what I mean. And my periods are they're so painful. My stomach cramps so bad. Like, it hurts to move. And I bleed so much. It's horrible. So, naturally, I didn't go Pokemon hunting while I was on my period. That lasted about a week. And then, I don't know, my depression just, when I'm on my period, like right before, right after, during, my anxiety goes 10 times worse. The anxiety levels are really high. doesn't take much to send me into a panic attack, and I get really sad and depressed and just don't want to move, don't want to do anything, don't want to talk, don't want to do anything. And it was like that after my period finished, and I don't know, I haven't been able to motivate myself or get myself to go back and continue that. I can't now because my phone shut off and I don't have the money to pay it, so I wouldn't be able to use the app anyway. But I guess I could still go for walks. It's cooling off a little bit, like maybe 10 degrees, 20 degrees. I do live in Florida, so it's pretty much summer all year round, but it's nice. It's kind of humid, but the wind feels really nice today. It's been raining. It's hurricane season, so it rains pretty much every day. Sometimes it'll rain for literally a minute and then stop, and then it'll be 20 times hotter. That's just how Florida is. But yeah, currently I'm on medication for my anxiety, my depression. I'm taking vitamin D since I don't get sun, as you can probably tell. I'm white as fuck. Which I actually prefer being pale. I don't know. I've just always preferred being pale over tan. It's just how I like myself. Yeah, my mind's going blank. I'm so sorry. It's just, I'm trying so hard and it's not working out for me right now. But yeah, I'm on medication, like I said. One of my medications is really strong, so I have to see my doctor every 3 months to make sure I'm not abusing it or whatever, which I don't even like taking pills. Half the time I fucking forget to take them, and I know it's so bad. I set alarms, I set notes, and my memory is just so bad. Like, I'll go to do something, and then within seconds I've forgotten it, and I don't know if that's part of the illness or if that's just me. But yeah, my memory is so bad, and so I do forget to take my medicine sometimes. I'll admit that, but I do my best to take it regularly, and so I have to go see her every 3 months. It's so hard for me, and she always tells me she's proud when I make it, because I cancel appointments a lot, because just the fear of, because the doctor I go to is really popular in this area, so there's usually a lot of people there. Most of them are older people, but still, it's people, and being around a lot of people, it's really hard. But I do manage it. I do get to the doctor every 3 or so months. I do eventually get in and get my medicine refilled. Basically, I get a checkup, I get like all my blood work done and all that, and I'm not really sure how, but for the past few months, the past I think she said year and a half, I think, my weight has been steadily going down, and I have no idea how, because I don't exercise, which I know I need to. It's so bad. I don't leave the house much, so I'm not really sure how it's going down. It might be thyroid, because thyroid issues can make you lose or gain weight. I don't know if it has anything to do with my medication, probably not. But I get all my blood work done. She checks my cholesterol, she checks my blood sugar, she checks everything, and it all comes back normal. I'm completely healthy, except for being a little fat and lazy, and the whole mental illnesses that I'm dealing with. But yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at in my life right now. I don't have any friends. I have a couple people that I talk to online, but it's complicated. I believe online friends are real. I do. But it's hard when it's the only thing you have. It's not like a physical person that you can like hug and you can touch and you can see, and it's difficult. It's really lonely. Me and my mom are both under a lot of stress because of bills. Our house is currently in foreclosure, and we are struggling to pay a lawyer to help stop the foreclosure. And my mom, I call her mom because that's what she liked, and she did adopt me. But my grandmother, my mom's mom, she died, I think it was 2 years ago. It feels like it was yesterday. Don't really want to get into the details of that right now. But she was basically our anchor. She was the one thing keeping us afloat. She was an older lady. She was, I think, mid-70s. So she was retired and she got Social Security checks, and she had a lot of medical problems. She did. And towards the end of her life, the depression and the illnesses, they got to her a lot. And she kind of gave up on life. And that I feel a lot of regret when I think about that, because we would fight a lot, and I didn't really understand what the mental processes she was going through. And when she would say something like everyone hated her and we'd throw a party if she died and stuff like that, I thought she was just trying to get attention. I didn't know she was serious. And I understand that now because I've pretty much taken over where she left off. That's how I feel. I feel like my depression makes me think that people would be better off without me, and that life would just be a better place without me. I'm working on turning that around and learning that I do have a place here, and I do belong here. I was put here for a reason, probably. I don't know. But I'm here. And it's difficult, but you gotta make the best of it. As my mom says, I'm really negative, honestly, and I talk about death a lot. I kind of want to stop existing, honestly, but I don't want to die. It's so weird. I say I do. I say I want to die a lot, but that's just kind of how I cope, I guess. Saying things like that and being negative and talking about death, I don't know why, but it comforts me. It helps me deal with my issues. But yeah, the only person I have to talk to is my mom. But we usually end up fighting because we're so much alike that we just kind of clash rather than talk. And with all the stress that we're under because of bills and because of her accident, she was in a car accident beginning of the year, and she's really messed up from that accident, and she's still, well, the lawsuit's still ongoing there. It wasn't her fault. It was this guy, he was on his phone and wasn't paying attention to the road and slammed into her. And honestly, the car that she's in, she's got one of those itty bitty little roller skates. She could have died, honestly, but she didn't. She's the strongest person I know, and it's a lot of stress in our life right now, hardships, and she doesn't really understand the whole mental illness aspect. So she tries to help, tries to make me feel better, but it doesn't always work. And then I feel guilty because I know she's trying really hard, but it doesn't work. Yeah. But that's where we're at currently. Just struggling to make it day to day and trying to find a way to cope with everything that's been thrown our way, and just living day to day. That's where we're at. Hopefully through this set I can kind of work it out in my own mind how I can better deal with situations and deal with myself and my mood swings, and just become a better person, an easier person for my mom to deal with, and actually learn to live instead of just hiding behind a computer in fear of everything. So yeah, this is the conclusion to the first episode. I hope you enjoyed. Hopefully it resonated with somebody that has been there or is going there now, going through the same things now. Just don't give up. That's the worst thing you can do. I know it's extremely difficult, and it's so much easier to be negative. It really is. It's less energy. It's easier. But, just know you're not alone. You're not the only one going through these things, which can sometimes be depressing, knowing that other people feel the same way as you, because it's so bad, and you don't want anyone else to feel that way. But it's okay to reach out. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to talk to people. I've recently started a Twitter. I don't know how much I'm going to use it. It's going to be in the description box below. It's Tiger Sims. It's TIGERSSIMS. It was originally created for my Sims 4 WordPress blog. But I pretty much just do whatever on it. I've had it for a few months, I guess. Haven't really started using it until yesterday. Can't use it now because there's no internet. So I don't know when this is going to be posted. But yeah, if you need someone to talk to, I'm not the best at advice, honestly. But I will definitely hear you out. I'll listen to you, see if I can help you feel better by just getting things off your chest. Sometimes you just need to just talk. Just get it all out there, just say what you want to say. And it's a lot easier to talk to strangers than it would be to talk to family members or someone that's close to the situation. So yeah, this is the conclusion of the first episode. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Feel free to leave a comment with thoughts, comments, improvements. Again, I'm just using my phone. It's just a shitty old phone with a camera on it. So I don't know how good this video is going to be. And I have basic editing software. So I'm going to try and make it look a little good. So this is probably not going to go well. This video is probably going to suck. I'm sorry. But yeah, I hope you have a wonderful day, wonderful night, wherever you're at. And just be kind to one another. Be nice to other people. You never know what people are going through. You never know what they have to go home to. Just remember that hatred breeds hatred, and kindness breeds kindness. So just be kind to one another. Take care of yourselves. Take care of other people. And see you later. Bye.